As you saw the other night when we were both lighted off and rained off the site because it got dark and it just started to rain, there's still noise in there. And when I was a young bloke, one of the fellas used to say when there was a noise in the machine, "Oh, don't worry about it, it'll soon wear out." That's a valid point, and he wasn't entirely serious anyway. But something will wear out, you know, so the idea, of course, is to try and track it down. There's only a couple of potential sources, and one may be in one of the pulleys themselves, maybe spinning. Now, it shouldn't because it's on like a knurled section on the shaft, but maybe with wear there's enough room for it to spin. And the other one is the blades maybe hitting the front of the deck if it's taken one too many thumps and buckled just enough to hit. So let's see if we can find out what that is. Now, to do that, of course, we're going to have to take the deck back off again. So this time we'll be able to show you how that comes off and just which linkages need to be undone. Only a few things need to come off. One is this cable here, which is hooked onto the front of that, so there. The other is a pin that's in the end of this. There's a pin there and one on the other side in exactly the same place, and then this one down here in the front. So we've got it out. Those pins I was talking about are here, 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 and then the clip that goes on there, which is the drive belt. What I'm going to do is get a couple of wooden blocks lifted up so I can spin the blades freely. And we may have found the source of the noise straight away. This one here spins quite freely without a sound, but this one, and I wonder if it's actually that belt stopper that's causing it. So if we pull that out of the way, sound disappears. So I think it's this. Now this is what it looks like, and I'll get an up close for you. This is a guide which really holds that belt, which I've taken off at the moment, but holds that belt and that pulley from flopping around. And it sort of has this sacrificial pad on there. You can see the grooves in it. And I think because of the grooves that it's worn, it's moving like so. And that weird screeching is coming from it. So I'm wondering if, when this engages, this should also push that back out of the way, and that's not happening. And that may be a case of that not being located where it should be, because there's a wear mark right there, and on the bottom of this is a pulley. At the moment, as this moves, yeah, I see. So when it's fully engaged, it should be pushing this out of the way. Let's investigate. So we put a bit of oil on all of these pivot points, and the little pulleys that sit underneath here. We pop the springs off so we can get to that easily. Well, let's pop the springs back on again. Sherlock Holmes said, once you remove the impossible, whatever's left, no matter how improbable, is the solution. And I'm wondering if, as it runs fine without the deck on, the issue is something to do with this engage mechanism here. And I wonder if it's causing something like this, or the one on the other side to bind. So let's take this cover off, see if we can find out exactly what happens when this is fully engaged. So as you work this stuff out, you kind of figure out what everything's doing. So this is the tensioner and the cable, and you saw where I attached that with that washer and split pin that goes through there, pulls this back like so. Now these pulleys here have this little pulley brake, which is that on both sides. That. But as this pulls back, because of the configuration in here, this pulls these brakes out of the way, like so. And I'm wondering if this was binding here, so semi-engaging the belt with this, but not releasing that brake. And I'm wondering if now, having pulled everything apart and given it a good oiling, that's done the job. So it's now travelling freely all the way back. So let's try it. The deck's back on. We've oiled and greased everything. Let's see how she goes. So Sherlock Holmes was right. Eliminate the impossible and whatever's left, no matter how improbable, is the solution. And it appears that that was actually the solution, and that was to And that was to check that braking mechanism and seeing if it was binding, and it seems like it probably was. There's still a little bit of a grumbling noise in there, but it's good enough for now. What we might do is replace those brake pads, because they're just like a sacrificial abrasive, well, not abrasive, but a sacrificial brake type of material, and I'll show you what they look like. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'm glad to have got that done, because now we can get back and mow some lawns. Thanks for watching.